You're real last soon enough. I talked about damaging locks. I talked about, damaging locks, by leaving in styles. Like locks can get damaged by leaving in styles. I talked about that previously, but I didn't really go into details. I feel like a lot of people don't really know, like, when to cross the line when it comes to, your hair looks fly, looks good, you just got the loctician, the stylist looks nice, it's really cute. I feel like some people just really don't know when to say, okay, although this looks really, really nice, it's time to take this out, wash it, condition it, oil it, and give it a time to breathe before I do something else. I feel like people definitely get caught up in that matrix. It happens to the best of us, though. It definitely happened to me. So I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like, oh, you're bad. No, you're not bad. It happens to the best of us. Shout out to the chat. Hey, Cynical, how you doing? Shout out to the replay game. Hope you guys do your thing. Um, yeah, it can look beautiful and it can last forever for months at a time, but I definitely don't recommend you keep it in any longer than necessary because it can definitely backfire on you. So his little tea I'm gonna spill. But only gonna share my story, ain't gonna tell y'all, what's gonna happen. It is what it is. So one thing I can let y'all know, like y'all gonna see some signs. If you're doing this consistently, eventually you're gonna see some signs. And the signs you're gonna see gonna let you know, uh-oh, I made a mistake. And sometimes the signs gonna look like this. It's gonna just be random thinning out of nowhere in a nice, healthy, thick, juicy lock. You'll just see like a thin spot somewhere. Like, where did that come from? I didn't see this before. And it may not be nothing until it becomes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20, 30 locks. Then it's a whole problem. But just saying. So from my experience, I really felt like, the first sign that I knew something was really happening that was kind of bad, that was kind of tingly, that kind of wasn't really right, was that I all of a sudden developed this tenderheadedness. All of a sudden, my scalp was super tender for no reason, in certain areas only, not the whole head. And it got to the point where I feel like even just getting the reach was even washing, I had to be careful. Like, oh, be careful with this side, be careful with that side, because you just never know. And that was not cool, but I can't reverse that. Like, that's what it is. And tenderheadedness is now a thing. And I used to laugh at people back in the day when I would see little kids or grown people crying because they felt like they were being held heavy-handedly, but they really wasn't, and they were really really like ah ooh ah ooh. They were tenderheaded, and I didn't know what it was, until it full circle on my way. Like, ooh, that's no joke. That's an issue. Tenderheadedness. That's a thing. Some people may call it scalp tension, but all of a sudden, I was very delicately tender in certain areas that wasn't really tender before. And that was really, really weird for me. Like, why is my head feeling tender? Why is this normally doesn't happen to me? Like, what is this all about? And yeah, so that was sign number one. Sign number two, that's sign number two. Sign number one, all of a sudden, little thin spots out of nowhere. Nice, thick, juicy, healthy lock. All of a sudden, there'll be a thin spot out of nowhere. And a thin spot is a spot that's just really, really skinny compared to the rest of it that's really, really thick. And I'm like, ooh, that doesn't look right. Maybe I should ask my logistician about that. I don't know. Um, and the third thing I realized, doing multiple retwists that had those long, dookie, strong rubber bands and like thick styles, like the 2-strand twist, the 3-strand twist, the big chunky twist, like leaving those styles in for more than a month at a time and not taking the rubber bands out and like just letting that sit for my texture, for my grade, for my style, that didn't work for me. That was a oh no for me. And while it looked great, it backfired on me. All of a sudden, it just was not healthy. I started to see things I did not want to see, and there was no reversing that when I saw that, and it sucked. Some of those things I saw were like, fine, deep, strong indentions that did not go away. Those indentions got so strong, so long that, they turned to weak thin spots. So again, the thin spots is a clear red sign. See them thin spots? Time to TLC that mother sucker real quick before anything worse happens, because that's what happened with me. Just saying. You know what I'm saying? And again, it looks pretty. So depending if you have like really thin, fine hair, really thick hair, really kinky hair, really coily hair. The results may vary, but again, just my perspective, looking out for a sister or brother out here in these streets because no one looked out for me. But it's all good. I'm not upset. I'm not hating. Um, it worked out. It definitely worked out in the long run. So I definitely feel like these things, held me back, slowed me down, messed up the journey because I didn't know better, and I made mistakes, because I was impatient, not trying to enjoy the journey the way I was supposed to, as I've told you guys in my last prior videos, recording my prior videos within the last week. I've been kind of recapping similar content, about the same thing. So you'll see when I spoke about that just previously. And it's not a joke, it's not a game, it's real out here. And again, I know it's not just me. So, you guys, have you guys ever experienced this? If you have dreadlocks, you have baby locks, you have starter locks, you have mature locks, you have teenage locks, you're thinking about getting locks, have you ever seen someone that had these really nice, cute styles and they kept these styles in super duper long to the point where the roots were fuzzy, the style was really nice, but it's been like more than a month, more than 2 months, more than 3 months, and you've seen someone in this style? Let me know because again, the styles are really elegant. They're really pretty. When you see people with locks, there's up styles, there's the down styles, excuse me, there's a whole bunch of styles you can get to not have to maintain your hair, to not have to wash it, treat it, do anything to it. And it will look really, really great. It really, really will. But at the same time, they say too much of a bad thing, good things could be a bad thing, and that's when it can backfire. Your hair will get used to that style, that stress, and before you know it, it is doing something that you don't know what it's doing until months and weeks and years later. Then you're like, oh my gosh, that is not what I wanted it to do. And it's just too late. It's just too late. You can't do anything about it. So, the lesson I learned in this was, don't don't disturb your lock piece. Don't disturb your locks, period. Let them do what they want to do when they need to do it, how they want to do it, because they will thank you later when you do that. When you're obsessing and doing too much, they're gonna start doing a whole bunch of stuff that you're gonna be like, oh my god, how do I think it? And you don't want to be there because it's super stressful. Well, for me, it was. So again, did you ever leave a style in too long, because you didn't want to disturb your locks? Let me know. And again, even if you don't have locks, it could have been a weave you had. It could have been a protective style you had. It could have been a wig you had. It could have been a style you had in your hair that was in there for too long and you knew at some point you really need to take it out, let your hair breathe, let your scalp breathe, let it get that fresh air, give it a wash, give it a condition, let it do what it's supposed to do. And you didn't because you thought the style looked so cute. And when you didn't take it out, and you finally did take it out, you realize, ooh, I should have took this out a few weeks ago. I should have took this out maybe a month ago. But it looks so cute. You got so many compliments in the style, it wasn't stressful on you, on your neck or your hair, it was easy to manipulate and do what it do. But then all of a sudden, I should have listened. It happens to the best of us. It definitely does. So if you're just jumping in the conversation tonight we're talking about pretty much, having a good thing for too long can be bad. We're actually talking about, when you're specifically leaving in, your dreadlock styles too long, it could lead to damage depending on your hair grade and texture. Everyone is different, but talking from my point of view only. And the one things I noticed immediately in spots and areas that were not thin before, that were fully strong and thick, and all of a sudden they were just thinness out of nowhere. I think there may be one here. It just happens, it just pop up out of nowhere. That was the first sign. The second sign, scalp tension, getting tender headed out of the blue all of a sudden. Was never tender headed my entire life, my entire whatever years I am old. Never had that experience, but now have that experience and can't reverse it. I guess I could reverse it if I just end up not having locks anymore, but I don't want to do that. So yeah, all of a sudden just that. And lastly, the third sign, like just realizing by pictures and photos, I've had this styling for too long. When's the last time I washed my hair? When's the last time I conditioned my hair? Like, wow, this style is really, really cute, but my hair was itching. I need to wash my hair. I need to do something. I need to condition it. Like, Those be the signs. And we ignore those signs. But it's fine. It ain't just you. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. It ain't just you. It happens to the best of us. So don't be bad on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. We live and we learn. And if you went through it, I would love to know. Definitely would love to know. Just understand, it ain't just me out here. We will be tempted to those things sometimes. Yeah. So what's good, chat? Shout out to Uncommon Sister Jose and the Grown. Shout out to Irby Fatal. Shout out to the Cynical One. How you guys doing? Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's good. Despite the snowstorm wherever you are. This is just a short video. Wanted to recap, on my previous lives I was doing. Not sure when I'll be jumping back into the full panel thing and open discussion thing, but working on my channel, guys. But we all got hair care issues. Some of us are bald, some of us have thin spots, some of us have weak hair, some of us have thin hair, some of us have hair that's too damn thick that we can't even comb it apart and we breaking combs. Some of us, don't want to go to a stylist or professional because we're embarrassed to let someone else see what we work with under our hats or our scarves. Some of us, just cheap, don't want to spend money in the stylist or loctician. Some of us just, are just used to the normal we doing, So we wore braids, two braids all our life. All we gonna do is two braids. If we just cut our hair every month, all we gonna do is cut our hair. If we had a relative do our hair, all we gonna do is find somebody who do our hair. But that's it. That's all for you guys. For me, guys. Gotta go. It's been great chatting with you guys. Thank you guys for popping in my live streams and my short videos and sharing love, sharing videos, commenting. Let me know anything you're interested in. That's all I got for you guys. This is definitely a short one, but I'll be back with another long stream on Saturday around 8 p.m. ish. So good night. Take care, and until next time, peace. Appreciate you guys. Let me know in the comments anything I didn't answer you wanted to know about, anything you're curious about. I'll follow up in the comments with you guys.